were in coma for 4 days, I guess.
I was in coma. So what really happened was I was in coma for 4 days. I was on a ventilator. When the day I woke up is when I saw my family. And these are the questions asked me. I didn't know what happened. Nothing. It took me about 2 weeks to learn that I just had a big bike accident and I had 18 fractures on my skull. I had my ribs and my spine broken. All what I'm doing is I'm not aiming for something. I'm not aiming to be the richest guy.
Yeah.
I'm not aiming to be the best speaker. When I leave, I want to leave my legacy and I want to show others. The message is to people to believe in yourself that you are worthy of greatness.
Right.
You know, if I can, 10 years back, Sujith, I mean, today, if you see the titles I have backed up behind me, people will have to believe that, you know what, it is possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Tasleem and today we have very special guest. His name is Sujith and he's one of the most inspiring person that I know in UAE, and he recently won the Guinness World Record and we're going to talk about that later. And first of all, thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. And I was watching your some videos on YouTube and I saw like music videos, so I want to know like how you got into music first.
Getting into music, actually having my first music video was a complete random accident, I would say.
Okay.
Because in 2017, I used to write music. I used to love hip hop. I used to write. I used to be the kid that had in front of the mirror download my favorite artist lyrics.
Okay.
Go in front of the mirror, play the song on radio, and literally lip sync to the whole thing. You know, so that's how crazy I had for hip hop. And 2017, I was in a hospital and I was writing. I wrote a small track during at that time because I just had an amazing year. The previous year, 16, I took a trip to Bangalore. I was having a ball. I come back to Dubai and I'm back in a hospital. So that was my scenario. And I'm sitting in this hospital and I'm wondering to myself, there's nothing to do in a hospital, right? You're just on a bed all day.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to do something interesting. I'm like, why don't I write a song? And I had this notepad with me, something similar like what you're having right now. Yeah. And I was writing. I started writing. I didn't know how to write a rap. Like I didn't learn rap.
Right.
I just listened to my favorite artist, and I just figured, how do I write the same thing what I did in Bangalore, and now I'm in Dubai, and now this is happening. But what is my mindset about it?
Yeah.
So very short rap. I wrote it. I wrote it on this notepad, about 2 to 3 pages. And then it was my birthday on 17th of April, which I'm still in the hospital during this period. And I have my visit from my friend Chris Fade from Virgin Radio, and he comes on my birthday to visit me, surprise me. He bought me like 2 pair of dumbbells in the hospital.
In Bengaluru?
No, right in Dubai.
Right in Dubai.
In Dubai in 2017 and April. Okay. And I just shared with him. We got chit chatting, and I shared with him the rap that I wrote. Yeah. And he sees it, and he's like, "That's amazing." And he sees the video that I made, like just in a hospital bed, right? Rapping to that song. The next day he goes on radio and he calls me. He's like at 10 o'clock in the morning. He calls me, "You're up. Okay, we're going live in 10 minutes. And I'm like, not prepared.
Jesus.
And we go live and we talk about the whole thing. And towards the end of the conversation, he says that Sujith wrote a rap and I want to play to you guys. And I'm like,
damn.
You know what I mean? And he plays it on the radio. He adds a beat to the song. He plays it on the radio. And the next thing I know, it sounded decent. It sounded pretty nice. Yeah. And the next thing I know, my phone is being bombarded with messages and calls. Selena Jetley, the Miss World, I think 2004 or something, she tweets about me saying, "I just heard Sujith's story on the radio. I love the rap. Kudos to the Fade Fit team, the Chris Fade show team." And that was like, wow. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And this is happening in April, close to November, August, I think September, October, November, close to that period. I get an email in my box saying that you're nominated for an award. And I started reading the email, and you're nominated for Masala Award. And the category is Most Inspirational Personality. And I come to know Selena in UAE. And Selena Jetley is a jury of the award, one of the juries of the award. And she's the one who nominated me. And I ended up winning that award.
Wow.
So in my head, so this is the process. This is what happened. So in my head, something that I like that accidentally came out got me a Masala Award, indirectly, whichever route it may be. So I'm like, dude, I got to write more. And that's my journey of actually then sitting down and writing entire songs.
So you didn't have basically planned that you want to be a musician or something
no,
like
man,
that?
It was just, like I said, purely accidental.
So what's the process? So I know some musicians, like they have a process, writing a song. So first they create the beat in their mind sometimes, or they create words and just collect the words and then write a song. So what's your process?
So I think the right way, if you ask any musician or any rapper or songwriter, They always say, get the music first, feel the vibe, and then go according to it. But for me, I had stories to tell. Right. So I had things I wanted to talk about in different ways. So I always wrote my songs first. And then I found a beat for it later, or I got a producer doing it for me. But definitely the right way would be to start with a beat, feel the beat, and then write a song based on that. But again, like you said, it is some ideas. It's broken words here and there. And then you build on it. You write it down, then you build on it, and then you just get creative, Sorry. The mind just starts working in many ways, and then you just make the line better and better and better and better. Like, that's what I do. If I write the same thing, I'll try to make it, every time I read that line, I'll try to make it as metaphorically as possible and as rhyming as possible. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, the second thing that I wanted to know, after that event that we're going to talk about later, so how did you build this tough mindset? It's like you're total like real good at AF.
Oh yeah, I'm a go-getter. I'm unstoppable. Like, I don't think there's somebody like with words they cannot beat me. That's for sure. Like, but that's not something I have developed in a night. That's something after years of to be very raw to you on a podcast, years of pain. That brought me to that level where I have to have this mindset to be that you have to be the absolute killer. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it started with first being at the bottom of the pit. Like, I was brought down to the most bottom of my pit, where I was in a position where people were telling me things I can and I cannot do.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to do. Allowed as in, it was too risky for anybody to let me to do things that I wanted to do because of my physical condition at that point. And at the age of 21, I find myself in a position where everyone is directing and dictating how my life is going to be. For example, people coming into my house telling me Sujith will never walk again. He'll always need someone to help him. He's never going to get a job. He might not get married. At the age of 21, when you're hearing this, you're not prepared for this, my friend. You're just out of college. I just got out of college. I didn't even get out. I didn't even finish my college.
You don't even have hope. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and at that near age, everyone is just telling you is no, and your life is going to be limited. And so I was brought down to that level of pit. And even physically, I was going through so many surgeries.
Right.
Like, so much of surgery, so much of trauma was going on.
You went through 12 surgery, I guess?
I went through 16 surgeries.
16,
right? So, and there was a Ayurvedic treatment that backfired very badly. That's the reason I underwent like 14 other surgeries. So the first 2 surgeries were only for my head and my back. The rest of them was caused by this Ayurvedic treatment. And this is in a span of a couple of months. So, like, nothing is looking bright.
Yeah.
But then when I had to build that side and tell myself, stop, it's your damn life. Right. No one is helping you. Nobody has answers for it. You have to take life in your own control. So that's what I understand. Everybody till a certain age, we always depend on either your best friend is going to be, your boys are going to back you up, or your mother, your father is going to back you up, or your family to back you up. Take that all away. But you're dependent on that, right? Indirectly or directly, whether you're doing good or not.
Yeah.
But what happens when you feel that everybody around you doesn't have an answer for your problem?
Exactly.
What do you do then? That's when you have to put your foot in the big boy shoes, and you have to take life on your own hands, and that requires a lot of risk. It requires a lot of guts.
Yeah.
So I was brought into that position out of my situation.
People were
I was forced
to
put in that situation. But that pushed me to think beyond the box. Right. But that's what got me tougher, man, over the years. And above all that, when you start doing something and you see results in it, and these are the same something that people said it's impossible. And when you suddenly do the impossible and you make it possible, you start believing more in yourself.
Yeah.
Little by little. And then before you know it, you are at a level of limitless potential.
You become unbelievable, and people start, appreciating you and start joining your journey. That what happened. Okay, can you share your, that event that happened in Bengaluru about with our audience? That what exactly happened?
So the accident, right?
Yeah.
So the year was 2013. I was in my final year of my college, and I was just out with some friends. We were riding bikes in the middle of the night. Right. So being in Bangalore, you stay alone. Yeah. And you always have these bike rides that you go out for in the middle of the night. And this was one such ride, 31st of March. We went out, there were 2 bikes. I had a pillion rider with me. There was another bike.
Right.
And we were just going to, if I'm not wrong, we were going to St. John's. There's this chai wala at 2 o'clock in the night. Chai ke liye, we were going for that. Or us time pe, that is my last memory. I get out of the house, I'm going to the bike, I start the bike. That was it. My next memory was I'm waking up in a hospital.
Yeah.
So when I woke up in a hospital bed, like the first thing, I just woke up one day and I'm in a hospital bed. Or I look at my surroundings and I see my father, my mother, my sisters, and everybody. And I asked, the first thing my mother asked me, my father asked me, "Can you see us?" I just nodded, yeah. And next thing my mother asked me, "Do you recognize us?" I again nodded, and I passed out. The next time I woke up was the next day. Then I saw them again for 10-15 minutes. But I was on.
You were in coma for 4 days, I guess.
I was in coma. So what really happened was I was in coma for 4 days. I was on a ventilator. When the day I woke up is when I saw my family. And these are the questions asked me. I didn't know what happened. Nothing. It took me about 2 weeks to learn that I just had a big bike accident and I had 18 fractures on my skull. I had my ribs and my spine broken. And that's the reason I was on a hospital bed. I went into coma immediately.
Right.
And when I woke up, already 2 surgeries were completed on my body. I had a 12-hour surgery. 6 hours for my skull, 6 hours for my back. And after 2 weeks, I was moved to the ward. So this 2 weeks was like the doctor was telling my mom and dad, he might die today, he might die tomorrow. He might die today, because everything was failing. Yeah. My liver was failing, my heart was showing complications, my lungs were collapsing. And after 2 weeks is when they could stably say that now he's safe, he's not going to die.
Doctor became hopeless.
Doctor told my dad and mom he has a 40% chance of survival after my surgeries. Because everything was just failing, And it was a level 7 surgery in Fortis Hospital. Just for you to understand what's a level 7 surgery, level 8 is like a heart transplant. Level 7 is right below that. So that's the grade that they termed me as how I came. Because I had 18 fractures on my skull. I could have been brain dead. I could have lived like a vegetable, if you know what I mean. But none of that happened, And here I am, Then I went through a lot of confusion because I did not know what happened. A lot of people are asking me, Sujith, how did the bike crash? Who was riding? I have till date, that night is blank for me. I do not know what happened. My next memory is just waking up in a hospital bed. And then it was like, I couldn't allow anyone to touch my body for the first month and a half because I was in that much of pain. See, when I was in the ICU, I was under morphine. Morphine they give you to subside the pain and everything, And that's why you have illusions and you have hallucinations. So I had hallucinations.
You see things.
I had mad hallucinations in the hospital.
Can you share some story that?
Oh yeah. Oh, wow. This is the most stripped out story.
I love to know about morphine thing,
When I was, why?
Yeah, just like that, but I would love to know the story.
When I was in the hospital bed, I was on high doses of morphine because of the pain, right? So I don't feel the pain. And I remember I woke up, nobody was around me. And I'm looking at the ceiling of the hospital, the rooms I was in.
Yeah.
It was a big room. Okay. Like, you had 1 bed, 2 bed, 3 beds like that. And I'm seeing on the ceiling of the room, there is fire. A lot of fire. And on my diagonal side, I'm seeing there is 2 guys completely in black, like with the black masks and black outfits and everything. And they are killing the nurses. One by one. And I'm literally visualizing this. Really? And they are killing. And on my right, so in my head, they're going to kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm like, you can't process things. It's not everything is logically making sense because you're literally
you're not in that situation. Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, they're going to kill me in like probably another 15 minutes. Yeah. So before they get to me, I have to get to the door and get out of here.
So you started planning and taking action.
I started planning and taking action. But the thing was, I was tied to my bed. My hands were physically tied.
Why? You were hurting yourself?
No, the thing is, when you're in morphine and when these major surgeries happen to you, you're on these high drugs, right? So there are tubes that was through my nose and my throat to feed me.
Started taking out.
So patients will start taking out because irritation, because they don't understand what is it for. So I started doing the same thing. After you do it a couple of times, the nurses come and tie your hands. That is what happened to me that day. But in my head, I'm like, I have to get out of the chair. I know I can't walk.
Just the same.
I know I can't walk, but I don't know why I can't move my legs yet. I'm not even thinking about that. But I'm like, I have to jump out of the bed, crawl, and go to the exit, whatever it takes. Dude, if my hands were not tied that night, I probably would have done that. Yeah. I probably would have jumped off that bed. And if I jumped off that
And
bed,
hurt yourself.
I would have died.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I just finished 18 fractures in my skull, just got treated for after 6 hours. My spine is broken. I would have been way worse, or I would have probably not.
It
not
was in the
made
night, like there was no nurse or
It was at, I don't know, 3 a.m. something. If I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
something like that was the timing. And yeah, you don't scream. So this is what you're seeing. How
Exactly.
do you react, right? So next thing
it's
I'm
happening
looking,
all in the dreams, you know.
it's happening in a dream, or
Yeah.
and then next thing I was trying to get a knife to cut my this thing. Dude, I think I struggled with every energy I had at that moment of my time to get out of the ropes. It didn't happen. So I slept that night. I slept with the idea that I'm going to die.
Hmm.
You know, the next thing I'm waking up, everything is back to normal. People are walking around, nurses, doctors. I'm like, what happened? And then suddenly the doctor comes, like when my time was there. He came with my family and I just told him, doctor, I saw this
Yeah.
whole thing and I'm scared and all. He's
And
like,
it's normal for them, you know. They hear this kind of stories a lot.
yeah, all what he tells me is he's in the most simplest way. He just rubs it off. He's like, oh, don't worry, my boy. That's just hallucinating from the
Yeah.
morphine. And I'm like, dude, do you have any idea I would have killed myself? And all he's telling me is like, I was hallucinating from the morphine.
Cool.
But wow, man, that was an image I'd never probably forget for the rest of my
craziest story
life.
I've ever, listened about this morphine thing.
Yeah, I mean, this was too much. Like, there's so
Yeah,
much
this
of
is too much,
details,
yeah.
but surprisingly, I remember these details.
Yeah.
Like, even though I was in a very sedative state, I still remember black guys, black outfit guys.
Yeah, they're coming towards
fire,
you.
killing the nurses. I'm in the next zone. I have to jump out of the bed. I need to release my ropes.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Damn, man. Okay, just
But I struggled like a good 25 minutes. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
But you were tired, thankfully.
I was tired and then
yeah.
I was tied up. I
Yeah.
really wonder sometimes if I wasn't tied up that night,
then
would I actually make it from that night? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
We can't even imagine that way. Yeah. But I wanted to know, like, the strong that mindset that you have now, this happened after that event. But do you really think that you would be the same person if this didn't happen to you?
No,
Why?
I don't think so.
Would you have the same motivation and same energy?
It's, more than motivation. Motivation is one aspect. People think motivation is it's a big pile of a lot of things. No.
Yeah.
I think motivation is there, discipline is there, consistency is there. The person that you think you are, that is there.
Yeah.
For me, if the question that you asked me, do you think I'll be this person before my accident?
Yeah.
No, because my accident and my circumstances that happened after my, situations and circumstances that happened after my accident made me the person who I am today. I've discovered things in life and I've understood and I've seen patterns on how things work.
Yeah.
Which I would have never probably seen unless I
Exactly.
was pushed in a different way.
What kind of person you were before this?
Dude, I was a very impulsive person. I was very laid back. I was very chill. I was very popular even back in my days, like in the
college?
school. Yeah, in school. No, school mainly.
School, yeah.
I was a basketball player. I was in the basketball team.
Yeah.
I was a sports captain. I was very popular in school. Like, there's not a kid who didn't know me.
You were into boxing?
I was into boxing in college. So in school it was like my playground. I can say that. College was Bangalore was a party hub. We were partying. We were racing bikes. We had it was all friend circle. There's nobody's parents who are in Bangalore. It's all these students. So we had a good circle. We had a great circle. A lot of partying. I was at the edge of everything.
Yeah.
I like to be there. I like to be here. I like to party. And I was into boxing. So at that age when I was boxing, I felt I was untouchable because I was skilled.
Yeah.
I was very skilled at my age. At 19, 20, I religiously followed boxing. Like, boxing was hardcore for me.
Right.
When I enter boxing class, boom. It's another
Maybe the
zone.
mindset is still there. The boxer mindset, they have
No,
this.
boxer. So that there was a pinch of this mindset.
Yeah.
I think I built on that pinch 100 folds today.
Right.
Definitely. There's somebody, I remember someone saying, there's either people have it or they don't have it. And I really, though I want to tell everybody around me that you all have it.
Yeah.
The truth is, some have it, some don't have it.
Some don't have it.
And that's the reality of things.
But how do you know that you have it? Like, because some people don't know that if they have it or not. If they have it, like,
Well,
because they
it's
don't know.
that's what, like, do you want to be great? Do you want to be number one? So I always felt when I was a kid also,
Yeah.
I want to be the best at work. I want to be out there.
Mhm.
I want to be noticed. I want to be at the top of my game in whatever I do. I want to be good.
Right.
I want to be good. Why not, right? So
Yeah,
in school and college, I was like that. Like, I was quite active. I was very known. I was doing really good things in well. College, when I learned boxing, I felt I was untouchable. I felt I was on top of the world. Physically, when you
Yeah.
wouldn't. But it also disciplined me. Boxing gave me something which I never had in my childhood. Well, before that was discipline.
Right.
What I mean by that is, I was very impulsive as a kid. You know, like the first thing, second thing is a fight. You got to finish it off in a fight. That was my attitude. But boxing gave me something. When you know how to fight, when you really know how to do martial arts and use it, you will not raise your hands on somebody.
Yes, right.
That boxing gave me. Boxing calmed me down. Boxing made you understand, know your worth. So you don't have to show off.
Yeah.
If I have to put it in the more raw language, you know.
Right, right.
So I think that mindset was there somewhere.
Somewhere.
But I think
you are more stronger now, I guess.
That's right.
Right?
Hands down, I can say 100 folds more stronger.
Yeah.
100 folds more stronger.
We can see that like you're more stronger than before. I mean, I didn't know you before, like in college time or school time. But I guess the mindset that you have,
mindset has changed completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of not just for myself, in terms of, I think it developed me as a person. Other than my go-getter attitude, believing in yourself like there's no, like nobody else. Believing that you can be the best at something, you can be out there, you can actually achieve a lot of things. See, the idea of, the idea where it became stronger was, Tasleem, a lot of people think there's only a certain way of getting something.
Right.
And just because that person has the money, or that person has the backup, or that person has the vasta, or that person has support, name whatever you want to name.
Right, right.
And a lot of people categorize that only those people can be meant for greatness. I asked myself, I'm an underdog. I mean, I always started like that. And it's not like I'm born in a silver spoon.
Exactly.
But I worked my way off. And I put a lot of energy, a lot of effort into so many different things. And I've seen results for it. I've seen results where people couldn't fathom that I would get that. And I've got it. Why did I get it? What was different in their thinking that I would get it and what was mine? Because I was adamant, no matter hell on earth, I'll make it happen, right? And whether I chose the orthodox way or the unorthodox way, it didn't matter for me. As long as I reached to my goal.
Exactly.
You know, that was very important for me.
Right, right. Okay, so, that I want to know about this is like very sensitive, but I want to know, like, when you're at this position, most of the people, give you sympathy and show you this pettiness. But I don't think so. You like that way, when people, become more comfortable and start giving you that pettiness. So what do you think about that? Because I have a friend like back in India, who's in a wheelchair. And I asked him one day, like, what are the things that you don't like about yourself or about people? So he was like, he gave me this answer that, when people come to me and feel sorry for me. And I was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I don't like this one. But mostly people come to me and say this, I'll feel sorry for you and this happened, this happened. But like in a certain period of sometimes it's fine. But if you're going on extreme level, you just feel that, they are weak or something like that. And it hurts you sometimes. So what do you think about that? Is this happened to you?
I think that has been my foundation on who I am today.
Yeah.
Because people did that. Like at that point of time, while we were discussing a while earlier, a lot of people were telling me that. A lot of people were coming and giving me sympathy. Even in Dubai, I faced that.
Yeah.
Randomly, I'm walking through the street and this woman goes like, "Ya Rabba," something. She goes, "So sorry," because I was like, super young. Like I think 5 years back, I remember that incident in Al Nada. And that happened. And many other times I see people. This initially in Kerala, every single one that came to my house was giving me that.
Yeah.
Every single one. Telling me, poor boy, unfortunately this happened to you. I have people who are here. How was he living before?
Yeah.
वो पहले कैसा था, अभी देखो उसको, बेचारा.
You start hating that.
Dude, from when I'm hearing, it's not one person.
Yeah, it's not.
From every direction you look, there are people telling you this. Then how do you start feeling, right?
Yeah.
You feel angry.
You
feel sad.
Yeah.
First and all, you'll feel sad, yeah, my situation is like this. Then it becomes into anger. Exactly. Then I always tell this to people, okay? Biggest mistake what you're doing to somebody is giving them sympathy.
Yeah.
Empathize them. Understand their situation. But one of my friend told me this, when I was getting this, I remember that was a very strong word in my mind. He was like, Sujith, how many people, everyone will come and tell you sympathy is so bad, this happened to you, this shouldn't have happened to you, you were so much better, where you would have reached in life. How many people come and say, Chod, khalas.
Yeah.
This happened. Chalo, abhi yahan se utte.
Live the
How
life.
many people tell this? No one tells this. He told me that. So it's very true. Why do people go and, another thing I didn't like people doing to me was when they used to come to my house, they used to tell me, you know what, Sujith? I know another guy's son, he had accident और उसका आपसे भी बहुत बुरा है. So you're lucky you only, comparing. So I told him, bhai, suno, ruko, be quiet, okay? Yeah. So if you're telling about him today to me, will you go to another guy and tell him, Sujith, I know Sujith, he got worse than you.
Yeah, worse than you. You're lucky.
This is very bad.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't encourage. So when that stopped for me in my life is when I started building And I started taking my risk and I started taking my chance and I built my name. I did events. I proved a lot of things what people told were my limitations. I proved them all wrong.
Right.
Today, people don't see that as me.
Yeah.
And I do it and I push it. That's been one of my core reasons of my fire is because I really want to make it happen so that tomorrow when you see another guy in a wheelchair, don't you dare think that he's a weakling.
He's a weakling, yeah.
Because only I became in a wheelchair, not out of choice, out of no choice. I was killing it. I was living at the best of my life in Bangalore. Dude, I am 20, I was a party animal. I felt I was untouchable. Physically, nobody could take me on. I knew like 1,500 people. I was in a different league at that time.
And you were getting this kind of sympathy that you feel like...
And boom, overnight, I crash and I find myself with people giving me sympathy. I have no friends left. I felt everyone left me and went. I felt like, a lot of people, because I was in Kerala and a lot of people are back in Bangalore. And when you're true friends, then you realize. Kaun tha wo really guys who will chase me.
I want to know the reason why people left. Like, you're the same person.
When I came back to Kerala, everybody was back in Bangalore. When you keep calling them, after a while you're forgotten. Yes, that initial period is there. After that, you see, it's like an illusion you live as a kid.
Right.
Your friends are your life. People say that, no? It's true.
It's true.
When you're a kid, you think friends are your life. You think if you're going to go to hell's or going to die, 10 log honge tere piche.
More important than parents.
They're more important than parents.
Yeah.
That's how I live my life. I live my life with my friends being more important than my parents.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that's not true at all.
But that's not the way it should be.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that after... Some people realize that after a certain age, or some people just know how to keep friends. But that was me. I would keep friends as if they were my entire life. Right. And when this happened, I didn't find many people I expected to be there. I was lonely. I was depressed. I was sad. People were giving me sympathy. I was at the weakest point of my life.
Right.
And I found myself there at the age of 21.
Okay, I understand that. Like, we appreciate you that you have this mindset, but still, it's like a normal thing that you must also have this low days when you feel like, let's give up. Yeah, and there's nothing left. And so, what do you do on those days?
Okay, so touch wood, I have not had the lowest days in a very long time. But I know what you're asking. There are days I get up and I just wish, there was a point of my life where I used to Google how to kill myself, and I've tried to find the most easiest way to do it without people being involved. Okay, because when I remember this, where it was at the peak of it was 2014. After this Ayurvedic treatment went bad.
Right. It was happening in India?
In Kerala. When that Ayurvedic treatment went bad, I was asked to do the 14 surgeries happened in a span of 3 to 4 years. Okay. So in 2014 is when that spree of surgery started.
Right.
And I was in a hospital for 3 months. In Jubilee Hospital, Trivandrum. For 3 months, I underwent, I think, 6 surgeries. Because 2 of them kept failing back to back. So we had to redo a surgery. And 6 months was 3 months was the time I was in the hospital. And you know what's a cannula?
Yeah, the put inside.
Cannula is what they feed you with their trips or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So my nerves, my veins are very thin.
Very thin.
And whatever I do, I use my hands. Whether I have to get up from the chair, whether I have to move into some place or the other. I'm always using my hands. So my cannulas keep slipping out. Usually when people have cannula, they move. So cannula is untouched, right? But when you put a lot of movement and pressure, it slips out. Buddy, my cannula was slipping every single day. And every day these nurses were coming and finding new veins and picking and in the most uncomfortable of places. So one thing, I don't have physical sensation below my chest.
Right.
So I'm hypersensitive on top. So what hurts normally little, it's a little bit more for me. Imagine a needle going to you every single day. There was a point where these nurses bring 3 nurses, one to hold my legs so I don't move a lot, one to hold my upper body, and the third nurse to inject me. When I went through all of this, and I've seen very tough things happen to my body. I've seen open wounds. I've seen my flesh. Seen my flesh being cut. I've woken up during surgeries. I've had all of that pain.
Flesh being cut?
I've seen my flesh being cut for over a period of time by the doctors because they had to do it. So things like this made me very numb and cold over a period of time. When you see there's a doctor literally taking this much of a needle and cutting bits by bits. It's not hurting me because I have no sensation. But if you're able to literally see that and take it in, and man, it makes you another guy altogether. And at this point when these nurses were coming every single day and I was going through so much of pain and I was skin and bones at that time. And I was asking myself, what's the bloody point of living, man? What's the point of hoping for? Everything is just so down in your life. There's nothing to look forward. There's no friends. You don't know if you'll ever wake up. There's no doctor saying you'll walk again. And that's when I used to start researching about it. How to kill myself.
Okay, damn it. You tried to find a way to kill yourself.
And I got my top 3 answers also.
Yeah.
And only the next thing was to plan to execute it. But this was over a period of time. From Kerala, then I came to Dubai. Then I knew the day I had to do it because nobody had to be at home.
Right.
A lot of with the access that I had to do it. Because I was very depressed at that time. It was very...
Which year was that?
14, 15.
14, 15.
Yeah. 14, 15 were those years I really thought about it. And
but how do you manage now, like those days if you have,
Okay, so, but the reason I didn't do it is because I asked myself, dude, you can die and your pain is gone.
Yeah.
But are you a coward? Were you really this guy? Like, was Sujith, I know, now you are in a wheelchair. Tu pehle soch.
Right.
Were you that same banda who was still champion?
No.
No, right? I mean, you're still that guy. Your body changed.
Yeah.
You're not your mind.
Yeah.
So that's when I took the conscious decision of not doing it. And let's just see, man, what you can do with your life. Exactly. That was the idea. But nowadays, when I have that bad day, whenever that may be, so this is my routine, what I do, okay?
Right.
So I'm only human. Everyone is only human.
Yeah.
Whichever toughest guy you are, you will have that part where you feel you want to break.
Right.
You feel you want to support. So when that really hits me, and it can be a random day, I'll just wake up and I'll feel like I'm done with life. Or I give myself 2 to 3 days. What I do in these 2 to 3 days, I do nothing. I don't work out.
Lock yourself.
I won't care to socialize. I won't care to go out. I don't care to do anything. I won't care to work. I'll just sit home. I'll chill. I'll watch my Netflix. I'll think life is a waste, whatever. Now, what I tell people is, they don't understand how this thing works. When you feel that prolonged period, right? Sorry, that period when you feel that there's going to be nothing in your life, right? That's a very short-lived period. Right. But at that emotional side of you makes you feel that is going to be the rest of your life.
Right.
Abhi, when there's something that happens like that, whether you do anything or not, first day you're crying.
Right.
Second day you're crying. Third day also, chalo, let's say you're crying. Okay. Fourth day you'll be like, "Arey, bas ho gaya re." Aur kitna roega main? So you will only feel that automatically, na? Right. And then you'll start automatically falling down in the place of how your life was going. Absolutely. So that is what it is. People, the problem that they do is when this mood comes to them, this emotional side comes to them, because we are all emotional beings. When that emotional side comes to them, they think they make decisions based on how their life is going to be.
Right.
And they add depression and depression and depression. What I tell is, understand it's an emotion.
Right.
It will pass.
It will vanish.
Everything is an emotion, bro.
Absolutely.
You cannot control certain things, but what you can control is your emotion and how you feel about it. Yeah. You can control your behavior.
It's not going to last forever,
It's not, sorry, you cannot control your emotions, but you can control your behavior towards it. Right. For example, I'll give you a clear example. You don't want to go to the gym. बहुत मुश्किल है यार. Why? Tired, lazy, body is paining. But your behavior, you can tell, no, I have to go to the gym. It's like, how I find life is, you are the king, but there are two devils you're always fighting with. The devil and the angel,
Right.
The devil will, you have to literally, if you are able to fight with your own mind, there's nothing that can stop you, in plain and simple languages. So you are the one who can tell you can be number 1, but you're also the same one who will tell you can be number 57.
Absolutely.
Whatever,
Like, how often do you go to gym? Like, what's your daily routine?
Every day, 5 to 6 days I'm in the gym. Yeah. And then I personal train clients as well. So I'm a personal trainer.
Right.
So after I first train my clients and then I go to the gym and train myself. So my day literally ends very late.
Yeah.
On a regular it ends very late.
How many hours do you sleep every day?
Very poor.
Very poor.
That's one thing I wish I can change about my life, but honestly, I sleep very poor, yeah.
Like, how many hours?
Like there are some days it's only 5 hours.
5 hours?
There are some days it's 6 hours, but yeah, more or less. But again, my sleeping pattern is I sleep at 3 o'clock sometimes. Like there are days I finish my work, I might have something else to do. I go train clients. I go to their place and I train them. Then I come back to my gym in Dubai Silicon Oasis. I train myself.
Right.
I have to come home, I have to cook. I have to shower, I have to clean up. By the time everything happens, it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clolock.
You like cooking?
I don't have a choice for now.
Okay. When was the last time that you visited India?
I was in India last July.
Last July. I wanted to know, like, in Dubai, it's very, easy access for if you're on a wheelchair. Like, there are some facilities like, you're not that uncomfortable. In India, I don't think so. We have that kind of facility.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like, what government or people should do for the people who are on wheelchair?
I think, I'll give you an example here. A guy reached out to me on Instagram, and he's in India. And he wrote to the KSRTC bus committee or something saying that, can you guys make these buses, because they have a new line of buses that came out a couple of years back. I'm not sure with the facts, but can you make these buses more wheelchair accessible so I can also, someone like me, travel? And KSRTC replied back to him saying that making a bus wheelchair accessible is not a government rule.
I'm sorry? Yeah?
Yeah. Making a bus a wheelchair accessible is not a mandatory rule. And he sent me the screenshots of it. I have the screenshots from KSRTC.
They responded?
Yes, replying back to him officially. So this is what I think India has a long way. Dubai has taken this into consideration very well. I'm very comfortable. I live
proper restroom, not like India.
They watch out. They are mandatory. Every building should have a ramp. Restrooms are mandatory. Accessibility is a big thing. Inclusivity is a big thing.
Wherever you go.
So Dubai takes people of determination very seriously in making sure that they are inclusive in the community as well. But India, I think, is still a long way for that.
But if government is not doing, what people can do, like the people who are living there.
So I know some individuals who are doing some phenomenal work in India. They are going about ramping up the city.
Right.
I know a guy, Pratik. He is ramping up Bangalore. So he goes to shopping malls, police stations, centers, and he talks to their management and he ramps them up. Like, he gets his team to build a ramp accordingly for them for the certain size, etc. And he ramps them up. Wow, so the accessibility is a one main thing. See, inclusivity comes.
Kudos to you, Pradeep.
People, kudos to you, buddy. If you're watching this.
Yeah.
But like, man, that's a big thing. I know a friend over here, Shobika Karla. She's also in a wheelchair. She and her sister had ramped up more than 100 places in Dubai with the help of RTA. Oh. She went to RTA and complained, there is a ramp, there's no ramp here. Right. There's no ramp here. There's no ramp here. Yeah, and she got more than 100 places ramped up.
Yeah, if you demand for it, still, I mean, there's a way.
And they do the change. Yeah, I mean, they're doing a lot of change without even demand. Yeah. But even with demand, they're very supportive. They're very open to hearing it. Right. I mean, that's very important. As a wheelchair user, for me, the most important thing is any place is accessibility. Even a place might be accessible. A restroom is not accessible. It's a big concern for me. Right. So I think it's a lot of... And inclusivity, yes. Everyone has a very open mindset on... People just should understand it's just a person sitting on a chair. Exactly. Stop discriminating. Exactly. A lot of people do that somewhere around the world. I've seen a lot of people. I've been a victim of it. But stop. Unless I made my mark in such a way that they would never dare to see me that. Right. But they would do that to somebody else. I'm trying to be that person. Stop judging.
Exactly.
This is what I can do.
Treat like a normal human being.
It's just a normal human being.
Absolutely. Okay, we're gonna hear your rap very soon. I mean, like, before that, like, I want to know, like, writing makes you happy, like writing rap.
I love writing. Yeah.
And music makes you. What are other things that makes you happy? Like, what are the things that you do?
I used to love writing, so I like adrenaline rush activities. And lately, someone collaborated with me, Dubai Kart Drome, and they gave me Dubai go-karting.
Okay.
And wow, man, I got the reality check in go-karting. It was way harder than I expected it to be. Like, the steering wheel is like 5 or 10 kilos of pressure on each end. Wow. You don't just do that. It's very hard. So I was riding with some professionals, and they were like, so I'll tell you a story. It's a funny story. So this was a collaboration. There were 4 guys on the track, including myself, and 1 marshal. So the rule was the marshal will take us 1 round, and then we come back, and then we are free to ride however we want. So the first lap, the marshal was very peaceful. They all were following in a line. I was the last guy. Right. First lap finishes. I see the marshal from my front. I see he moves to the side. Like, his work is done. Yeah. The next thing, all I see is pew, 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 pew. Where did these guys go, man? And these guys were pro, man. Like, I hate to say this. But 2 of those guys overlapped me twice.
Really?
Yo, man, they were next level. Like, they were really good at it. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, you were not in practice.
First time I'm doing it in my life. So I didn't understand the density of that kart, and I did a 360, like accidental 360 when you try to do too fast. But so anyways, my point being, I love adrenaline rush activities. I do scuba diving. I've jumped out of a plane.
Jump out of a plane?
Skydiving.
Skydiving where?
In Dubai. The one in Marina. Skydive Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah, right over there. So I do scuba diving. I'm yet to still get into the main waters over here. But yeah, scuba.
You like traveling?
Sorry?
Traveling?
I want to travel. I always say this, but I have not had the opportunity to travel quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, there's so much happening for me in Dubai already that I don't get a space. Like, even if I have holidays,
But still,
I'm
if you
stuck with something.
if you plan to
I'm
travel,
here.
where you
But
go?
I love this place, you know.
Yeah.
If I love to travel, I would love to visit places like Spain, Morocco, Italy, Venice, Africa.
Africa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Kenya.
Kenya. Kenya is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, I want to know, like, what is the definition of success, like, according to you? What do you feel like when?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think success is very subjective.
Yeah, it is.
For me, it is to be in a position to be able to. For me, actual success term is to be in a position to be able to provide for my family and people around me.
Wow.
That is my true definition of success. So I work very hard to be in a very influential position that I'll be able to provide for my family and my siblings and people around me.
Right.
That's my idea of success.
Can we hear some rap, Determine, or some whatever you like?
Okay, so Determine will be more. I'll give you a little faster one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one. This is.
You wrote recently something new.
I did it, but I cannot. It's unreleased.
Okay.
But I'll do something. I'll tell you the first time I performed a rap in a stage.
Where, in Dubai?
Yeah, in Dubai, in Sharjah. Actually in Sharjah Expo Center.
Okay. Wow.
So it goes like. So I wrote this song for Indian Raga. So they were performing and they wanted me to write a rap for them. So, from the land of the stars, we're born with some scars, feeling with the beats of Indian Raga. There's the music and the dance to be born as one. Now this is bigger than everyone. From a sound of the nation to utter domination, we conquer every fear with the tap correlation. Music and dance, it gives us free stance. Peace and love we need in advance. From the rich to the famous, poor to the blameless. We come from a country that made us courageous. Mantra, the Raga, Om Namah Shivaya. Dance of the kings that makes a bit higher. Power of the Om from the Lord Shivaya comes with a boom and sets you on fire.
Damn! Bravo, man!
That is Indian Raga.
This is like something.
It's a longer one, but I just gave you the
goosebumps.
No, I love that part. Like when I wrote this song, my best line of this. Everyone has a best line or something of the song. I like the mantra, the Raga, Om Namah Shivaya. Dance. It comes with mantra, Raga, Om Namah Shivaya. Dance of the kings, which makes a bit higher. Power of the Om from the Lord Shivaya. Right. It comes with a boom and sets you on fire.
Oh, damn.
Like that's one line I really like.
Okay, I wanted to know something. I wanted to ask this. If you don't want to answer, it's fine. We can cut it out. So, what's your relation with the God? Like, are you a believer? You know,
I'm very religious.
You know, something
very
happened with God. You. This thing. So most of the people, become angry with the God or something. They become disbeliever. Why this happened to me?
It's more like I think many people try to infiltrate a lot of ideas into your head about God.
Yeah.
And people around you, like I've heard people saying God did this to you.
Yeah.
I've heard think devil did this to you, God saved you.
Yeah.
I've did this curses karma. This is you being a bad person. Now he's trying to bring you on a right route. None of these reasons made sense to me.
Right.
But I have a very personal connection with God. Now I know none of us has seen him. But when I die tomorrow, I rather die believing there was something than not believing it at all. But that's not the fear that drives me. The fear is that there is that personal connection when I pray, when I have that, which I feel.
Yeah.
And I've seen my life change with it. Not because only I've changed, but I truly believe because there is a power that works.
Right.
Now, Allah, Buddha,
whatever you
call it. Yeah. And I think that is all religion. I believe is all completely man-made. It's under one. Yeah. It's under one roof. But let's not get it. That's very subjective, very sensitive topic.
But there is something higher power.
But there is a power that is a God who created you, who gave you life, my friend.
You can give your name, whatever.
Like, in the words of, look at the creation. It's not a small thing. So far, we are the only planet that has life being that is like known. Whatever people say, there are 1,500 galaxies, good for them. Yeah. But it's not discovered yet. Right. So, but for me, there is a God. So I believe in that. Yeah.
Perfect. What's your plan? Future plan, man?
Future plan, make it to the top, my friend. What else do I say?
Like in a short term, like
in a short term, I would just say, what I try to do and what I try to tell people is, all what I'm doing is I'm not aiming for something. I'm not aiming to be the richest guy. Yeah. I'm not aiming to be the best speaker in the world. I'm not aiming to be.
But you want to make
a big rapper. I definitely want to leave a legacy when I go, that people say, I want to follow this guy's work ethics. Like I work very hard, man. I break my back. I've heard when I'm in the gym. There are days I hear so many noises and I think something is broken in my body and I hear it. Yeah. I still freaking continue my workout. There are days I'm done, I'm sick. I pop a pill, antibiotic, a Panadol, take a pre-workout and I'm back to my workout. but I've abused my body. It's not a most right thing to do, but I have really pushed myself to limits. When I leave, I want to leave my legacy and I want to show others. The message is to people to believe in yourself that you are worthy of greatness. Right. You know, if I can, 10 years back, Sujith, I mean, today, if you see the titles I have backed up behind me, people will have to believe that, you know what, it is possible. And if I can be an icon for that, why not, man?
Why not? Yeah. I mean,
so I try to be the best version of myself.
Yeah. A month ago, like I had a little shoulder pain, and I was giving me excuses like, I shouldn't exercise, I shouldn't do pull-ups and push-ups. But I saw your video, and I was like, man.
Do you know I used to travel from Sharjah to Business Bay to work out in metro and buses?
I mean, what kind of excuse I have?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. Are you planning to get married soon?
Not thought about it. I mean, I'm just going the way life. When it happens to happen, it happens. I'm not planning 35, 30. I will know.
But you have a something mind that for the.
Do you have a lot of girls crushing on me? Yes, I do.
Yeah, of course they will. Yeah. But what kind of partner that you look for? What other qualities your partner should have?
I don't know. I hope as crazy as me, but not too crazy.
Not too crazy. Interesting. Okay, I was wondering if you can give some piece of advice. Three your principles that for the younger people.
I would say yes. I would say what I religiously follow. Work very, very hard.
Yeah.
You will find a result, and there will be times you fail, but that is something that you have to build upon.
Right.
So don't think one failure is the final judgment. Work very, very hard, especially in your 20s and your 30s, you have energy.
Right.
What you will not have in your 40s and 50s is energy.
Exactly.
So when you have the energy and take risks. Take chance, take risks. You will fail while you can, my friend, because after age, and I've heard this from multiple people, especially people above 40, I am not in a position to take a risk anymore. And that's very true.
Yeah.
You have either your family backup, you cannot lose some things because you're scared of it, right? Exactly. You need to take a risk, but still a calculated amount of risk. Not just put every egg in your one basket, right? So take your risk while you can, work very, very hard, and believe in yourself like you are a madman. One practice I always do every morning, or at least every other morning, I have this big mirror in front of my bed. And I go to the mirror, and I want you to now feel what I'm saying. I go to the mirror and I look at myself. I'm like a decent build. I look at myself, I'm like, damn. You're the bloody guy, like you're a king. Right. I look at myself. I don't say anything out verbally, but I give myself that look. In my mind.
In your mind.
I look at myself. I'm like, so the attitude is when I wake up and when I'm out there, I genuinely believe I'm the best out there.
Right.
You will never match my confidence, and I'm at the top of my game.
You just need to compare.
When
yourself.
I walk in a room, people are going to look at me, and I know that, and that's the confidence I have. That confidence, but in reality, back of my mind, mujhe bhi pata hai, there are thousands and millions of people who are way better than me at anything I do. Whether it be speaking, rapping, or just being a good person, anything better than do. There are hundreds and thousands of people who will beat me.
Right.
But if I have that confidence, I can build up to that level, It's like saying fake it till you make it.
Right.
So I built my confidence. So my confidence is my biggest core. My confidence is my foundation of why I'm here today. Right. The confidence to take a chance, the confidence to speak out there, the confidence on saying, bring it on.
Right.
That it all starts with you believing on what you want to be. If I believed I was a weakling and that's my life, I would be a weakling and that's my life. But that's not what I believe. What I believe is I'm meant for greatness. Right. That I will be known, even way after I leave.
Of course. That's great. Okay. This was Sujith, and I had a great chatting
Such
with
a pleasure talking to you, my friend.
I really appreciate
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for, inspiring us. And
thank you.
I'm really proud of you for all your achievement that you do. And wish you good luck for your next
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thank you so much, guys. And please, if you like the video, please subscribe and leave your comments below. And I'll see you soon. Bye.
It's a good one, man.
Oh, man.
Not bad. The heat was killing us a bit, but